Om Shri Sai Ram. Dear students, welcome to the second video on lines and angles. In the previous video, we have discussed few definitions of basic terms in geometry and pairs of angles, mainly the adjacent angles, linear pair angles and linear pair axioms, and vertically opposite angles. We knew how to prove a theorem logically. So using axioms, postulates and previous known statements, how we have to prove the theorems logically that we have learnt in the last video. Today we are going to learn the angles formed by a transversal when it cuts two different lines and the angles of triangles. So before that, let us look at the answers for the questions given in the last video. The first question is, in the figure, angle PQR is equal to angle PRQ. Angle PQR is here, angle PRQ. They are inside the triangles. They are equal, it is given, and we have to prove that these exterior angles are equal. So I hope you have done it. Very easy question. Take in one pair of linear pair angles. So I am taking here angle PQR plus angle PQS is equal to 180 degree. Linear pair angles. Take another pair of linear pair angles, angle PRQ plus angle PRT. So these two angles, linear pair angles, their sum is 180 degree. So look at those two equations. Both the equations have equals in right side. So apply the axiom number 1, things which are equal to same thing are equal. So therefore sum of these two is equal to sum of these two. And now angle PQR and angle PRQ, they are equal. It is given. So we can remove it using axiom 3. If equals are taken from the equals, then the remainders are equal. So that is what we require to prove. Next question. It is given that angle XYZ is 64 degree and XY is produced to point P. Draw a figure from the given information. First we have to draw an angle measuring 64 degree. Angle XYZ. Look at here. Angle XYZ. And then XY is produced to point P. It is produced. So picture is ready. If a ray YQ bisects angle ZYP, angle ZYP is here. This is the angle ZYP. We have to draw another line YQ to bisect this angle. Bisect means make into two equal parts. So now angle ZYQ is equal to angle QYP, that is half of angle ZYP. So what we have to find out? Find out XYQ. Angle XYQ. Angle XYQ is angle XYZ plus angle ZYQ. So ZYQ is half of ZYP. So ZYP is supplementary to 64 degree. I hope you have done it. Angle ZYP is 180 minus 64, 116. Therefore ZYQ is half of it, 58 degree. And therefore XYQ is equal to that 64 plus 58, that is 122 degree. And you are also asked to find out reflex angle QYP. Angle QYP is this 58 degree. So reflex QYP means 360 minus this angle. 360 minus 58 degree. So that is 202 degree. So now let us move to today's topic, parallel lines. You know that if we have any two lines on a plane, then they must be either parallel or intersecting. I'll repeat. If we have any two lines on a plane, then they must be either parallel or they must be intersecting lines. Look at these two lines. So these may be parallel lines. So what about these two lines now, L1 and L2? Do you agree they are intersecting lines? If you look at this picture, and if you think that the line L2 is of this length here to here, then you will say they are not intersecting lines. No doubt they are not parallel lines. But remember the definitions or the concept of line. A straight line has no end point. So it is not ended here. Only to represent a line along this direction of infinite length, we used this diagram. It is only the representing a line, so therefore this line is continued forever. Similarly, this line also. Therefore, these two straight lines have a common point somewhere here. Somewhere here, we have a common point for these two lines. Therefore, they are intersecting lines. So earlier picture, these two lines may not have any common points. If I extend both in both the sets for infinite length, they may not have any common point. So therefore they are parallel lines. Look at another picture. Imagine that this is a three-dimensional picture, cube. Consider a line along AB and another line along GF. Do you think they have a common point? No. And then whether they are parallel lines? Not at all. So if you imagine a cube, then you can understand this. Here AB and GF, they are not on the same plane. So GF is on another plane, AB is on another plane. They are non-coplanar lines, or they are called skew lines. Let us not discuss about skew lines. Let's discuss only parallel lines. So as I told, the parallel lines are the lines which do not intersect at any point are called parallel lines. So here, in other words, if we have two lines such that the distance between them is constant at any point, consider this line M and this line N. Here this red line is called common perpendicular because it is perpendicular to line N. It is also perpendicular to line M. Therefore, it is called a common perpendicular. Read this sentence. The length of the common perpendiculars at different points on these parallel lines is same. If I draw such common perpendiculars, more common perpendiculars, all those common perpendiculars have same length. So that is called the distance between the two lines is same here. At any point, look at here. The distance is same. So therefore these are parallel lines. If another line falls on that line, look at here. I have drawn one more line L, line L here. So it is called a transversal. So transversal is a line which intersects two or more lines at different points. A line which intersects two or more lines at distinct points is called a transversal. Here this transversal cuts two lines in all these figures. So in this figure we have three different lines, and this is the transversal. It cuts all the three lines at different points. So if I consider these three lines, let it be line L1, let it be line L2, and this is line L3. So which is transversal? So none of them are transversal, because to become a transversal, the transversal should cut the other two or more lines at different points. Here, L1 cuts L2 and L3 at a single point, same point. Therefore, similarly, L2 cuts L1 here and L2 cuts L3 here on the same point. Therefore, none of them are transversals. Consider another picture. Let it be line T1, this is T2, and this is T3. Let this point be A, B, this point is C. Which of them is transversal? So we consider all the three are transversal because T1 cuts T2 and T3 at two different points at B and C respectively. The line T2 cuts T3 at point A, it cuts T1 at point B. So line T2 cuts two different lines at different points. Therefore, it is a transversal. Similarly, T3 is also a transversal. So in this figure, all the three lines are transversals. In this figure, none of them are transversals. Sometimes by looking at two lines, it is not possible to say whether the lines are parallel or not. Sorry, it is not straight line. Imagine that this is a straight line. Just by looking at these lines, we can't say they are parallel because at least this line, assume that this is a horizontal line parallel to the ground, and assume that this second line is slightly just inclined by 1 degree or half degree or 2 degrees. Then we cannot recognize whether they are parallel or not. So to verify the given lines whether they are parallel or not, we have axioms and postulates. To understand those postulates and axioms, so we need to understand different types of angles when a transversal cuts two lines. So angles formed when a transversal intersects two lines. Look at here. For our convenience, the angles are named as angle 1, this is angle 2, angle 3, angle 4, angle 5, 6, 7, 8 like that. So identify the linear pair angles, side by side angles. When a ray stands on a straight line, the adjacent angles are called linear pair angles. If the sum of two adjacent angles is 180 degree, they are called linear pair angles. Here we have 8 pairs of linear pair angles. Angle 1 and 2, a pair of linear pair angles. Angle 2 and 3, another pair of linear pair angles. Angle 3 and 4, and 1 and 4. In this vertex we have 4 pairs of linear pair angles. Here we have 4 pairs of linear pair angles. So totally we have 8 pairs of linear pair angles. So how many pairs of vertically opposite angles are there? So there are 4 pairs, 1 and 3, a pair of vertically opposite angles. Angle 2 and angle 4, angle 5 and angle 7, angle 6 and angle 8. So in the previous video, we proved that the vertically opposite angles are always equal. Angle 1 is equal to 3, angle 2 is equal to 4, you know that. So now come to the another types of angles, corresponding angles. For our convenience, so to remember, we can imagine a letter F. So this angle and this angle are called corresponding angles. Or we can remember 3 conditions. They are non-adjacent angles, they are on the same side of the transversal, same side of the transversal, same side of the given line, same side of the given lines. So here, look at here, angle 1 and angle phi, they are non-adjacent angles. Angle 1 and angle phi are not adjacent angles. They are on the same side of the transversal. They are left to the transversal. And they are on the same side of the given lines. Means here, it is angle 1 is above the line M. Angle phi is also above the line N. So both angle 1 and angle phi, they are above line M and line N, above the given lines. Both are left to the transversal. Both are same side of the transversal. Both are same side of the given lines. And they are not adjacent angles. So such angles are called corresponding angles. To remember, we can remember the letter F. We can call it as F-shape angles. F-shape means not only this type. So these angles. One pair, this is another pair. This is another pair. So this is another pair. So whenever a transversal cuts two straight lines, we have four pairs of corresponding angles. Now go to the another type of angles, alternate interior angles. We can compare it with the letter Z. So Z-shape angles. The three conditions. They are non-adjacent angles. They are not adjacent. They are on either side of the transversal. If one angle is taken left to the transversal, then the other angle should be taken to the right to the transversal. And third condition is mentioned here. They are interior angles. They are inside the given lines. They are non-adjacent angles. They are on either side of the transversal and they are interior angles. So we have two pairs of alternate interior angles. Here and here, here and here. Look at here, angle 4 and angle 6. They are on either side of the transversal. They are not adjacent angles. And both are interior angles. Similarly, angle 3 and angle 5 is another pair of alternate angles. Alternate interior angles. If the word alternate interior is not mentioned, then you have to think that they are alternate interior angles. So alternate exterior angles. Similarly, they are non-adjacent angles. They are on either side of the transversal. First two conditions are same. So only difference is for the alternate interior angles, the angles are interior. Here the angles are exterior. So they are non-adjacent. Take one exterior angle. Suppose I am taking angle 1. Then you have to take another exterior angle so that it should not be an adjacent angles. You should not take angle 2. You have to take either 8 or 7. Go to the second condition. The angles must be on either side of the transversal. Angle 1 is left side of the transversal. Therefore, now you have to take angle 7. So angle 1 and 7. So they are called a pair of alternate exterior angle. Alternate means on either side. If one is left and another is right. That is the meaning of alternate. So alternate angles. So another pair of alternate angles are angle 2 and angle 8. Interior angles on the same side of the transversals. So I think I need not explain this. Everything is explained in the sentence. They are interior angles on the same side of the transversal. So pairs of angles. There is two angles. Here angle 4 and angle 5. That is one pair of interior angles on the same pair of the same side of the transversal. Angle 3 and angle 6 are the other pair of interior angles on the same side of the transversal. We can remember the letter C. So C-shape angles. Alternate angles. They are Z-shape angles. Corresponding angles. F-shape angles. So with this knowledge, let us go to some axioms related to lines. So in the previous chapter you studied the Euclidean fifth postulate. If the interior angles on the same side of the transversal is togetherly less than 180 degree, two right angles, then those lines meet when they are extended in the same side where the sum of interior angles is less than 180 degree. That means here if angle 4 plus angle 5 is less than 180 degree, then if we extend these lines, they will meet somewhere here. So that is Euclidean fifth postulate. You studied in the last chapter. Now go to few axioms. So if the given lines are parallel lines, then how are the pairs of different types of angles just now explained, corresponding angles, alternate angles, and the interior angles on the same side of the transversal. So here, if a transversal intersects two parallel lines, PQ is intersected line AB and CD. If a transversal cuts or intersects two straight lines, then each pair of corresponding angles is equal. So here angle AMP is equal to angle CNM, one pair. Angle AMN is equal to angle CNQ, two pairs. Similarly, that side two pairs. So all the pairs of corresponding angles are equal when the lines are parallel. If two lines are parallel and if you have a transversal on it, then each pair of corresponding angles are equal. We can prove this statement using different axioms, axiom number 1, axiom number 2. Using those axioms you can prove it. So in your textbook, so this statement was taken as an axiom. So this axiom this axiom is called corresponding angle axiom. It is accepted as true. So this statement is accepted as true. So based on the Euclidean fifth postulate, this axiom is derived actually. Next, the converse of this statement. So you know that converse means every statement of the axioms or postulates, theorems have two parts. One is conclusion part and another one is the hypothesis part. If we interchange the conclusion part and hypothesis part, so we get the converse of the theorem. So here the converse of this axiom, axiom number 3.3 here, its converse. Yes. If a transversal cuts two lines such that a pair of corresponding angles is equal, then the two lines are parallel to each other. So axiom 3.3 says if the lines are parallel, then the corresponding angles are equal. So axiom number 3.4 says if the corresponding angles are equal, then the lines are parallel. Now for the alternate angles, let us prove. Let us prove it. It is considered as a theorem. Theorem 3.2, which is the theorem 3.1. So that is about vertically opposite angles. When two straight lines intersect at a point, then the vertically opposite angles are equal. That we proved in the last video. So now this is theorem 3.2. If a transversal intersects two parallel lines, then each pair of alternate angles are equal. First you have to draw the figure. The same figure applies here. A transversal cuts two parallel lines. That is the hypothesis part. If a transversal cuts two parallel lines, till this is the hypothesis. We have to assume it. And now we have to write data. That is the explanation of the figure. So in that figure, AB and CD are parallel lines and PQ is the transversal. Then we have to write what we have to prove. That is conclusion part. We have to prove that each pair of alternate angles are equal. Here the alternate angles are angle AMN and angle MND, Z-shape angles, one pair. So another pair is angle BMN and angle MNC. We have to prove that they are equal. So remember this axiom number 3.3. the lines are parallel. If the lines are parallel, then the corresponding angles are equal. So let us take a pair of corresponding angles in the proof. So according to Axiom 3.3, angle AMN is equal to angle CNQ. But in that figure, angle CNQ is equal to angle MND. Why? So they are vertically opposite angles. So these two are vertically opposite angles. These two are corresponding angles. Corresponding angles are equal. If the lines are parallel, then the corresponding angles are equal. That is in Axiom 3.3. Vertically opposite angles are equal. That is proved in theorem 3.1. So comparing these two, we can write angle AMN is equal to angle MND. That is one pair of alternate angles. So in the same manner, we can prove another pair of alternate angles also. So this is about theorem 3.2. What may be its converse? So we have to interchange the hypothesis part and in conclusion part. Here the theorem says if the lines are parallel, then the alternate angles are equal. So therefore its converse, that is theorem 3.3, its converse is if the alternate angles are equal. If you know that a pair of alternate angles are equal, then the lines are parallel. So theorem 3.3, look at here. If a transversal intersects two lines such that a pair of alternate interior angles is equal, then the two lines are parallel. So this is the converse of theorem 3.2. So regarding corresponding angles, we have two statements. They are considered as axioms. So regarding alternate angles, we have two statements. They are considered as theorem 3.2 and theorem 3.3. Now the theorem 3.4 is about the interior angles on the same side of the transversals. So according to Euclidean fifth postulate, if the lines are parallel, then the interior angles on the same side of the transversal is togetherly equal to 180 degree. That means they are supplementary angles. So that is theorem 3.4. If a transversal intersects two parallel lines, then each pair of interior angles on the same side of the transversal is supplementary. So in this figure, if the lines are parallel, if we assume that AB and CD are parallel lines, then angle AMN plus angle MNC, so that is equal to 180 degree. They are supplementary angles. Similarly, another pair, angle BMN plus angle MND, it is also equal to 180 degree. So think its converse. So very easy. If a transversal make two interior angles such that their sum is 180 degree, the supplementary angles, then the lines are parallel. If a transversal cuts two lines such that a pair of interior angles on the same side of the transversal is supplementary, so then the lines are parallel. So this is about parallel lines and transversals. So we have one more theorem on parallel lines. Lines which are parallel to the same line are parallel to each other. Look at here. If the line M is parallel to line L and the line L is also parallel to line L, then line M and N, they are parallel to each other. So assume that line M is parallel to line L and line N is also parallel to line L. So we have to prove that line M and line L, they are parallel to each other. So if we draw a transversal, then so according to this, line M is parallel to L, we can write angle 1 is equal to angle 2. Axiom 3.3. Angle 1 is equal to angle 2. and according to this, the line N is parallel to L. So we can write angle 1 is equal to angle 3, oxygen 3.3. So if we compare, so 1 is common. If we remove that common thing, we get angle 2 is equal to angle 3. So remove means apply the axiom number 1, things which are equal to same thing are equal. So in the figure, angle 1 is equal to angle 2 because M is parallel to L. M is parallel to L is given here. Similarly, angle 1 is equal to angle 3 because N and L are parallel, it is given here. So compare these two, things which are equal to same thing are equal. First axiom. So both are equal to 1, angle 1. Therefore, 2 and 3 are equal. Angle 2 is equal to angle 3. So that means now apply the converse of axiom of corresponding angles axiom. So that is, if the corresponding angles are equal, then the lines are parallel. Here angle 2 and angle 3 are equal means M and N are parallel. Corresponding angles axiom. So this is about parallel lines. Now let us go to the next topic, triangles. So in the previous classes, you may have done many activities to know that sum of the interior angles is 180 degree. If we cut these corners and place them side by side, we can notice that the two edges form a straight line. Here BAC is a straight line. Vertex B is here, vertex A is here, vertex C is here. So cut these corners and make them to join side by side. So you get the A comes here, B comes here and C comes here. We have a straight line here. So that means the sum of interior angles of a triangle is 180 degree. So now let us prove it logically. So using axioms, postulates and previous theorems, let us prove it. The sum of the angles of a triangle. First we have to assume a triangle, draw a triangle and mark the angles as angle 1, angle 2 and angle 3. So we have to prove that angle 1 plus angle 2 plus angle 3 is equal to 180 degree. For that we need a helping line. So we have to draw a line parallel to BC. One more method is there. So consider this line DF or DE. It is parallel to QR, and passing through point P. So if you assume that these two are parallel lines, then the alternate angles are equal. Let it be angle number 4, let it be angle number 5. So these are alternate angles. Therefore, according to theorem 3.3, so angle 4 is equal to angle 2. And angle 5 is equal to angle 3 because PR is the transversal, QR and D is the transversal or the transversals. Sorry, QR and D are parallel lines. PR is the transversal. According to theorem 3.3, angle 5 is equal to angle 3. So in this figure, angle 4 plus angle 1 plus angle 5 is equal to 180 degree. In the place of 4, we can write angle 2. In the place of angle 5, we can write angle 3. Therefore, angle 4 plus angle 1 plus angle 5 becomes angle 1 plus angle 2 plus angle 3. So that is equal to 180 degree. Look at the steps again. So first we have to assume a triangle and mark the angles as angle 1, angle 2 and angle 3. The explanation of the figure is called data. The conclusion part, what we have to prove, that we have to write as to prove. To prove this, we need a helping line which is drawn parallel to QR and passing through P. Here I named it as XY. XY is drawn parallel to QR and it is passing through point P. And two more angles formed, and those angles are named as angle 4 and angle 5. So in this figure, angle 4 plus angle 1 plus angle 5 is equal to 180 degree. All the three angles together makes a straight angle. So in the place of angle 4, we can write angle 2. In the place of angle 5, we can write angle 3 because they are alternate angles. XY and QR are parallel lines. PQ is a transversal, therefore angle 4 is equal to angle 2. And PR is another transversal, therefore angle 5 is equal to angle 3. Now replace the value of 4 and the value of 5 as 2 and 3. Angle 2 and angle 3. So we get angle 2 plus angle 1 plus angle 3 is equal to 180 degree. 2 plus 1 plus 3 is nothing but 1 plus 2 plus 3. That is 180 degree. Now another theorem on triangles. If a side of a triangle is produced, then the exterior angle so formed is equal to sum of the two interior opposite angles. First, let us draw the figure. If a side of a triangle is produced, so this is hypothesis part. So we have to draw a triangle and one of its sides must be produced. Let ABC is the triangle and BC is produced to D. So that is hypothesis part. So data. So this is the explanation of the figure. So in triangle ABC, BC is produced to D, that's all. So in triangle ABC, BC is produced to point D. Then to prove, that is the conclusion part. What we have to prove here? Then the exterior angle so formed, here angle ACD is the exterior angle, that is equal to the sum of the two interior opposite angle. For this exterior angle, this is just an interior angle. So leave it. Take the other two interior angles, that is angle A and angle B. So these two angles, angle A and angle B, they are the interior opposite angles for the exterior angle, angle ACD. For angle ACD, it is an exterior angle. For that angle, interior opposite angles means angle A and angle B. So we have to prove that angle ACD, the exterior angle, is equal to angle A plus angle B. For example, if it is 50 degree and it is 60 degree, no need to find out this angle. Directly we can write this is 50 plus 60, 110 degree. But we have to prove logically. We need the logical proof. So I'll go to the proof. So in this figure, angle ACD plus angle ACB is equal to 180 degree. They are linear pair angles. Take angle ACD plus angle ACB. So their sum is 180 degree because they are linear pair angles. Now take the interior angles. Theorem 3.7, just now we proved angle 1 plus angle 2 plus angle 3 is equal to 180 degree. So in that triangle, in triangle ABC, angle A plus angle B plus angle ACB is equal to 180 degree according to theorem 3.7 just now proved. Now compare this. In both the equations we have 180 degree on the right side. Apply the axiom number 1, things which are equal to same thing are equal. Axiom number 1. So we can write sum of these two is equal to sum of these three. That is angle ACD plus angle ACB. So is equal to angle A plus angle B plus angle ACB. So look at the equation. We have ACB on either side. We can remove it. If equals are taken from the equals and the remainders are equal, therefore we get angle ACD, that is the exterior angle, is equal to angle A plus angle B, the interior angles on the same side of the transversal. So look at the steps once again. I will use numbers to represent the angles. Let that be the diagram. Angle A is named as angle 1, angle P is named as angle 1, angle Q is named as angle 2 and the exterior angle is named as angle 4. So we have to prove that angle 4 is equal to angle 1 plus angle 2. So I am going to prove directly. So in that figure, angle 1 plus 2 plus 3 is equal to 180 degree because of theorem 3.7, and also angle 3 plus 4 is equal to 180 degree. They are linear pair angles. So on comparing these two equations, we can apply the axiom number 1. Sum of these 3 is equal to sum of these 2. Now we have 3 on both sides. We can remove it. Then we get angle 1 plus angle 2 is equal to angle 4. Angle 1 plus 4. Angle 1 plus angle 2 is equal to angle 4. Angle 1 and angle 2. They are the interior opposite angles for the exterior angle, angle 4. So that is the proof of this theorem. Now go to 2 or 3 problems. In the figure, AB is parallel to CD and CD is parallel to EF. So AB and CD are parallel lines. CD and EF, they are also parallel lines. And Y is to Z is equal to 3 is to 7. Y is here, Z is here. Their ratio is 3 is to 7. Find X. You have to find out X. I think you can find out it. Can you? So look at here. CD is parallel to EF. It is given. So therefore, these two angles are equal. So let us name this as angle A, and let us name this transversal and these points of intersection. Let the transversal be PQ and these point of intersections are M, N and point Z. And take this angle C and Q as A. So now A and Z are equal. They are alternate angles. Theorem 3.3. They are alternate angles. They are equal. So Y plus Z is equal to 3 is to 7. So in the place of Z we can write A. Now Y is to A. Y is to A is equal to 3 is to 7. And Y plus A, it is 180 degree. They are linear pair angles. Y and A are linear pair angles. So sum is 180 degree. Ratio is 3 is to 7. So therefore we can find out Y. So after finding the Y, here CD and AB are parallel lines. Therefore X and Y are the interior angles on the same side of the transversal. Therefore according to theorem 3.5, sum of these two angles is 180 degree. Interior angles on the same side of the transversal are supplementary. So X plus Y is equal to 180 degree. If we know the value of Y, we can calculate X. So look at the steps. So in the figure, A is equal to Z because they are alternate angles and we know that CD is parallel to EF. So Y plus A is equal to Y plus Z. Y plus A. In the place of A we can write Z. A is equal to Z. So their sum is 180 degree. They are linear pair angles. Therefore their sum is 180 degree. That means Y plus Z is 180 degree. So Y is to Z is 3 is to 7. So therefore Y is equal to 3 plus 7, 10. So that is 3 parts out of 10 parts. 3 by 10. 3 by 10 times of 180. Their sum is 180 degree. Therefore the first part is 3 by their sum 10. 3 by 10 times of 180. That is 54 degree. So Y is 54 degree. Therefore X is equal to 180 minus 54 degree. Here X plus Y is equal to 180 degree. So theorem 3.5. So Y is 54 degree. So subtract 54 degree from 180. So we get 126 degree. So let's go to another question. So in the figure AB parallel to CD, angle APQ is equal to 50 degree and angle PRD is equal to 127 degree. Find X and Y. So AB and CD are parallel lines. AB and CD are parallel lines. So therefore this 50 degree and angle PQR, they are alternate angles, they are equal. So therefore X is equal to 50. Now to find out Y, we have two methods. We can take this 127 degree angle PRD is equal to angle APR. They are alternate angles. So take PR as transversal, AB and CD are parallel lines. Then this 50 plus Y is equal to 127 degree. So taking alternate angles, compare 127 degree with 50 plus Y. So we can find out Y. Or, so take the theorem 3.8. So that is the exterior angle of a triangle is equal to sum of interior opposite angles. 127 degree is equal to X plus Y. So X is 50 degree. Therefore 50 plus Y is equal to 127 degree. So you get Y. So look at the steps. So in the figure, angle APQ is equal to angle PQR. So APQ is equal to PQR. They are alternate angles. The lines are parallel. So APQ is 50 degree. Therefore X is also 50 degree. Now I will find out the value of Y using 3 and 3.8, the exterior angle of a triangle. So here 127 degree is equal to X plus Y. And we know the value of X, 50 plus Y is equal to PRD is 127 degree. So therefore Y is equal to 127 minus 50, that is 77 degree. So last question. So in the figure, PQ is parallel to ST. PQ is here, ST is here. They are parallel, it is given. Angle SQR is equal to 28 degree. SQR, it is 28 degree. And angle QRT is equal to 65 degree. That is the exterior angle for this triangle. It is 65 degree. Find X and Y. What we can do? We can take a pair of alternate angles. Here 28 plus X is equal to 65 degree. PQ is parallel to ST. Therefore angle PQR is equal to angle QRT. 65 is equal to 28 plus X. So we get the value of X. Then you know that the sum of interior angles of a triangle is 180 degree. You know that this mark indicates this angle is 90 degree, right angle. So in a triangle, if one angle is 90 degree, then the sum of the other two angles is 90 degree. So X plus Y is equal to 90 degree. If you know the value of X, we can find out Y. So alternate angles, angle PQR is equal to angle QRT. Angle PQR is 28 plus X. Angle QRT is 65 degree. So therefore X is equal to 65 minus 28, that is 37 degree. Now in triangle PQS, angle P is 90 degree. Therefore X plus Y is equal to 90 degree. And we know X is 37. 37 plus Y is equal to 90 degree. That implies Y is equal to 53 degree. Dear students, so this is about the third chapter of 9th standard mathematics, lines and angles. So these two are the questions for assignment from this video, from this part. So practice the question. You all have the link for your textbook. See the textbook, work out all the problems. Good luck. God bless you. Jai Sai Ram.